Hey guys! I'm outside today, so I'm a little squinty. I should be wearing my sunglasses and not my reading glasses from inside. Oh, jeez. And yeah, I have a street right in front of me, so I apologize if you can hear traffic, but it shouldn't be too bad from where I'm sitting, so we shall see. So I wanted to just share a little bit about my story today because I feel like right now the whole six-figure success story shit has been going around a lot, and there are, quite a few coaches that are telling you that it's easy. And although I do believe it is very, very easy to make money online, like very fucking easy, it's not easy to make six figures online in a short period of time. That said, I am going to share my story around how I was able to go from zero to $250,000 in sales in just 12 months. And I did this as a complete nobody. I was brand new to the coaching industry, so I didn't even know what the hell I was doing. I, hired a whole bunch of coaches myself to kind of teach me what I needed to know. I've always done different businesses, especially online businesses, for many, many years. So I did have experience with business, but I didn't have experience in the coaching industry per se. So it was a big learning curve for me. And I'm still learning. I mean, I hire coaches all the time. I take programs all the time. I join masterminds all the time. I feel like it's really important to always be investing in yourself, really, in yourself and in your, your knowledge, because you're not going to know everything, even though you might think you do. You're not going to know everything, and people don't expect you to know everything either, which is kind of a good thing, because there's nothing worse than a client that expects you to know the answers to every single question that they have, and that's just not possible. So you always have to be learning. So let me start with my story. If you guys have questions, go ahead and put them in the comments box, and I'll answer those when they come up. So I started my coaching business officially in February of 2015. Yeah, 2015. Losing track of time here. In 2015, and like I said, I was a complete nobody. I was brand new to the coaching industry, so nobody knew who I was. I didn't know who anybody was. And so the first thing I did was I started joining all these Facebook groups. I hired a coach of my own right away in February. I hired my very first business coach because I did know one thing. I knew that I needed help. I knew that I needed a mentor to get me where I wanted to go. So I hired my coach, and then I just started joining all these Facebook groups. Why I started joining all of these Facebook groups, I cannot tell you. I don't remember why. It could have been my coach told me. It could have just been a friend recommended I do it. I don't remember why I started joining Facebook groups, but I did, and I'm so grateful that I started doing that, because that is where the majority of my business comes from right now, is from Facebook groups. So I started joining all these Facebook groups, and I started to do two different things. I started to build relationships with other people. So just friendships, like I wasn't trying to get clients or anything right away. So I just started building relationships with other coaches that were in these Facebook groups. I was asking them, like, how long have you been in business? What's your favorite part? What's your least favorite part? And a lot of them were very generous and were sharing a lot of tips and things with me. So I did learn a lot just from people being really generous with their time, other coaches. So that was really helpful, and a lot of those people that helped me out back then, I eventually hired or recommend people to this day, and I have really good relationships with them now. So it was a really smart thing to do on my part to reach out to all of these people, and it was a really smart thing for them to do to help me out a little bit, because I've sent them tons of business or given them my own business. So yeah, so Facebook groups. So I started building those relationships and those friendships with other people And then another thing that I did was I started to put myself out there and tell people that, yeah, I may be new to coaching, but I'm definitely not new to business. I knew how to create a profitable online business, a service-based business. That was my area of expertise. I've run businesses for the past 12 years now, and most of them were done online. So, I know a thing or two about it. And I started out in these Facebook groups just telling people what I knew and basically helping them for free. I did this for a long time. I probably did it for at least 6 to 8 weeks straight, where I didn't promote anything. I didn't tell people my website. I didn't promote any type of coaching package or any programs or anything like that at all. The only thing I did was give free advice. I just helped people for free. And what happened was I found that the more free advice I gave, the more people would reach out to me and want to hire me and would want to work with me in some way. So I'm one of those people that doesn't believe that there's such a thing as too much free value. So I gave a ton of value for free. I just gave all of my expertise away for free. I created a 4-month coaching program, one-on-one coaching program, and I gave away every single thing that was in that private one-on-one program. I gave it away for free in these Facebook groups when I first started. Now, obviously, I didn't do it all at the same time. I didn't just say, here's a whole whack of information, enjoy. I did a little bit at a time. I gave them a tip here. I gave them a tip there, and I didn't really let them flow or anything like that. I was just like, here's a tip about this, here's a tip about this. And so it showed people that I knew what I was talking about. I had, knowledge in certain areas around the online business world. And then with time, obviously, I got really better. I got a lot better, not with speaking, with the coaching industry itself. But in the beginning, I knew nothing about coaching. I just knew a lot about business. So I just helped people there. So that's really one of my biggest pieces of advice, especially for those of you that may feel like a fraud right now, because I definitely felt like that myself in the beginning, and a lot of people feel that way, is just to, help people with what you know. So if you are, going out there and saying, hey, I'm a sales coach, I help you get clients like crazy, but you've never actually had a client, it's going to be really hard for you not to feel like a fraud, because you haven't actually achieved what you're teaching other people how to achieve. So even if you're just one step ahead of your people, that is all that matters. So for me, as a business coach, what I was teaching people how to do was, here's how to create a guideline, like an outline for a program, a successful program, a successful online program, because I knew how to do that. I also helped people with their blogs in the beginning, because that was a really big area of my expertise in the beginning was blogging. So I helped people with that, as well as another thing that I offered people advice on was how to show up online and how to do a bit of branding. I had some branding knowledge as well, and then of course I started talking about Facebook groups eventually also, because that was a big thing for me in the beginning, and it still is today. So I just started with where I was, and I just told people, this is what I can help you with, and every single day I'm learning something new. So I'm always adding to that list of things I can help my people with, my clients with, my customers with. So that's what I want to say to you if you're feeling like a fraud right now, is just to start where you are, just to help people with one thing that you're good at right now, and then just start to add to it, because you are going to be learning more, especially if you're constantly investing in yourself, whether that's with a coach or with a program or with a mastermind or whatever it is. As long as you're investing in learning and implementing, you're going to go a long way, and you're going to be learning a lot more that you can add to that list of things that you can eventually help people with. Any questions? Any questions? So that's what I did in the beginning, was I just got really good at building relationships through the Facebook groups, as well as sharing my expertise in the Facebook group. Facebook groups, and really just positioning myself as the go-to expert. I started out with blogging. That lasted maybe like a month or so, and then I realized I didn't really like blogging, so I just went into straight up business coaching, because I do love coaching people on how to create profitable online businesses. That is my main bread and butter. That's what I love doing. So that's what I stuck with, and that's what I still do today. And now here go a bunch of noisy trucks. So I started with Facebook groups. After Facebook groups, what I did was I started focusing a lot more on list building. And if you haven't started on list building yet, please start with list building. I wish that I had started with list building. I did create a list in the beginning of my business, but I didn't, put much effort into it, and I didn't really make it a priority. And it should be a priority, because when you have people on your list, it's a lot more intimate. The connection and the conversation you can have with them is a lot more intimate than just the people that you talk to in Facebook groups, or even people you private message on Facebook. It's not the same. They're inviting you into their inbox, and that's a really personal space for people. So having a really solid email list is going to make you a shit ton of money. It doesn't need to be an email list of like 50,000 people, although that would be great. Even if you have, 500 to 1,000 people on your list, you can make some really great money. So focus on list building. Please focus on list building. It's so, so important. You want to do that obviously in conjunction with other things such as social media, but definitely focus on list building. So that was the thing that I did after Facebook groups that I wish I had done before Facebook groups, but the past is the past. So I focused on list building. I started to do things like Facebook ad campaigns and live events and downloadable trainings and things like that to grow my list, and it made a really big difference. And now I get a ton of sales, especially when I'm launching new programs or new courses or anything like that. I usually get most of my sales either from Facebook groups or from my lists. Usually it's split in the middle. Usually it's 50-50, and that's because I've grown my list over the past, I think, 15-16 months now, and I've grown it pretty quickly in the last, say, 6 months, when I've really put a lot of effort into growing my list. So a lot of sales come from there, and that is because I have created this relationship with my subscribers, with the people that are on my list. I give them tons of great free content every single week without fail. I don't do a lot of pitching, unless I'm going through a launch or something like that. Then I'll have more sales emails than usual, but mostly it's free value, and it's encouraging posts. It's just telling people that I've been where they are. Here's the mistakes I made. Here's what I learned. Go and run with it. So it's a lot of free value. It's the same with the Facebook groups. You want to be giving people tons of free value to position yourself as that expert, so that they want to come to you for more help. They want more one-on-one help. They're going to come to you because they know you're the expert. So that is one of the most important things you need to do, is position yourself as that expert, so that they're always coming to you, and they're always referring you to other people who need you. So that's what I did. So I did Facebook groups, I did my list building, and then what I'm kind of focusing on now is the whole passive income strategy, I guess. So I have my membership site, which is not passive income, but it's recurring income, which is very nice. And then I also have courses and things that I've created as well, which are completely passive. So I run Facebook ads to them and just make money every single day from them without doing any work at all. All the hard stuff is done. So that's something that I would also recommend you look into as well, if you haven't already, is passive income, and getting some type of passive income stream in your business, even if it's just one stream. I think right now I have three or four going right now, passive income streams. But even if you just start with one, it makes a huge difference, and it's one of those things where once you start seeing that money come in and you're like, I didn't have to do anything to make that money, I just slapped up a Facebook ad and it's done, then you kind of get addicted to it and you want to do more and more and more. So passive income is the way to go. It's one of the best ways to stop trading hours for dollars for hours, however it goes, because we only have, all of us, 24 hours in our day, and we certainly don't want to be working 24 hours, right? So you need to have some way to to kind of leverage your time. And I found one of the best ways to do that is with passive income. That could be courses, that could be a PDF, that could be an ebook. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do to create passive income in your business. So if you haven't started doing that yet, I highly recommend you at least look into it and maybe come up with some type of idea for something you can create. Post it in the Babes in Business Facebook group and ask for feedback, and I'm sure you get lots of people that would be willing to help you out there. So passive income, Facebook groups, and email list building were the top 3 things that I did to take my business from $0 to $250,000 in just 12 months. And I'm on track to do probably 500 to 600 this year, depending on what my next launch does, which I cannot announce yet what it's going to be, but it's pretty sweet. And a lot of that is coming now from passive income and less coming from one-on-one, because I've been cutting way back on the one-on-one coaching so I can focus on creating the passive income in my business that I really want. So if anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box for me, and hopefully I can see them. It's so bright today. So bright out and loud. I hope it's not too loud and you guys can hear me. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, so no questions. Okay, cool. Well, that is all I had to share today, guys. I just wanted to give you a little bit of kind of a behind the scenes of my story. I've shared it a couple times before, but I've had a lot of people ask me about it over the last week or so. I don't know what's going on, why people are finding me all of a sudden and wanting to know more about my story, but that is it. I focused on Facebook groups first, building relationships, number 1, then growing my email list, and then passive income, which is what I'm focusing on now, as well as kind of up-leveling my business and getting to that $1 million mark, which is the next goal. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any other questions that come up, just go ahead and post them in the Facebook group. Talk to you later.